A quick get ready with me video where we're actually getting ready to do another back-to-back recording style video. And so I'm just waiting for the link to populate so that we can get that up and then we can go live on these other platforms. Give me just one moment. Let me just refresh and make sure that we got the link. Welcome in. As soon as you come in, say hello and then we'll go from there. Okay, here's the link. All right, today we're going to be talking about, because yesterday was Valentine's Day, we're going to be talking about the pressure that women feel and get to stay in relationships that just are unhealthy, not working, just not at the right pace or time for her in her life. So that's what we're going to be talking about today as I put on my makeup and get ready for today's video. Oh, my thing is gone. All right. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I'm getting ready to just send out the link. So just give me a moment on that. Do y'all remember Nice and Smooth? Nice and Smooth is funky, oh so hip hop junkies. Do y'all remember that? I remember by the time they had fallen off, they had some, what is this? They had some song talking about buy the record, the album, also CD. They were just going on and on. And I was like, ooh, no, they didn't. All right, let me get this. I'm just trying to get this title and get all of this out. All right, perfect. Oh, I need to do my hashtag TKO text squad. And then let's send that now. Perfect. Send. All right. Okay, wonderful. So let's go ahead and get live on these other platforms and then get our conversation started. Wait, what happened? Somebody pegged Buster and then sniffed her fingers? What are you talking about? Where did you see this? How could you see what was it personal bedroom business in in public? All right. So that text has gone out. I've also sent out the free notification on. All right. So that should be the text right there. Perfect. So come on, let's go ahead and get cracking. All right. Come on. Come on. All right, let's see. All right, we're live on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course, we are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. All right, so listen, I don't know what is going on, but we're going to be talking about a few different things today. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am your host, Tonya TKO. I am a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments for what self-love or self-abuse looks like in your life. And so today we're just doing a quick topic while I get ready. Right? We're going to be doing a video today where we're going to be doing back-to-back reactions. And so I'm just going to get ready with my TKO vegan makeup and talk about this topic because this is something that's been on my mind because yesterday was Valentine's Day. And so for a lot of women, there's a lot of pressure from family, from society, from their in-laws, from friends. And there's also, there's a phenomena, right? There's a phenomenon of friends that people always talk about the friends who are single, who want to keep you single. There's also a phenomenon of friends who are single who want to keep you in relationships. I mean, listen to what it is that I'm saying. There's a phenomenon of friends who, when you tell them, that things are not going quite right, they make all of the excuses that you would need to be able to stay in the relationship because they know you, they know what your triggers are, they know, what they know what it takes to get you to kind of change your mind. And also, so I wanted us to talk about this today. And I wanted to, you know what, I might open up the phone lines because I'm going to be needing to, you know what, I'm going to open up the phone lines. I want to talk about this phenomenon. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and there are a lot of women who feel pressure from other women to get the best gift, to, you know what, my mother had a best friend, right? And all the girls in both on both sides are all the same age. And I wondered, how did this happen until I grew up? And I realized that one friend announces that she's pregnant, and then you like, oh my goodness, I gotta start humping away. Then all of a sudden, you like hump, 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 and then you're like, oh, guess what? I'm pregnant now too. Our friends can be best friends. I mean, our children can be best friends, blah, blah, blah. And so I wanted to talk about that today. So I need somebody to call me and talk with me because I won't really be able to read the comments while I'm doing my makeup. So let me get the phone lines open, all right? So here we go. This is what we're talking about today while we get ready together. Here we go. Phone number is 323-488-3149. The Cash App is my name here, just the $sign, TONYATKO. Thank you. I just rewashed and redid my hair today. So, all right. So, phone lines are open. So go ahead, call in and talk with me about this topic. How was your Valentine's Day? I want to hear from a woman who felt pressure and she let it get the best of her and she did stay. Like, let's say you wanted to break up around Thanksgiving, but you knew that there was going to be gatherings and you didn't want to have to explain to people, or the in-laws talked you into staying, or let's say you left and you're good with your decision, but then yesterday came and now you're like, oh my goodness, or you called up your ex, or you were drunk dialing, or whatever the case may be. This is the line is open for any number of scenarios. So 323-488-3149. That's what we're talking about. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. So, okay. So part of what I wanted to talk about was, I was watching a video. So we're going to be reacting to a bunch of videos today. One of the videos that I saw was that we're not going to be reacting to today unless we can get through the videos on our list for today. But one of the videos that I saw was of this panel of people, and they were talking about how being a good man is not enough. And the guys on the panel were upset, and even the other girl on the panel was upset that this woman was like, yeah, it's just not enough. Just because you're a good guy doesn't mean you're a good fit. And we've talked about this before on my show. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tonya, hi, it's Kundai, and I'm calling you from Toronto.
Hey, you said Kim. I didn't catch you said Kim what?
My name is Kundai.
Oh, Kimbai. Okay, so welcome on Kimbai from Toronto. So talk to us. Which end of the spectrum
Oh,
do you fall under?
um, I didn't hear that because I had to switch off the the part where you asked that, I guess, to add you to my WhatsApp. So, what were the parts of the spectrum? Because I just have a lot to say about Valentine's Day and loving yourself.
Oh, okay. So it was either you were a person who was pressured to stay, You wanted to leave a long time ago, but the holidays were coming up and you didn't want people to asking you where was such and such or what was
Oh,
going
right,
on,
right,
or
right.
if you left and
Um,
you're happy with your decision and all of that. So those are the categories.
it's ironic. I kept myself in a situation that I knew everyone was telling me not to be in. So I kept myself in that. But then a few days ago, I realized that I didn't want to spend Valentine's Day waiting and praying and hoping for a text and validation because I knew I wouldn't get it because I spent the last year in that vicious cycle of breadcrumbing. So I found my strength after watching a different one of the lives that you had on the weekend. And I messaged the guy and I said, listen, I get it. It's not going to work out. Goodbye. Don't message me again. Just heart this message and I never want to hear from you again. And when he hearted that message, that was the kindest thing he's ever done for me. And I was so happy. And I spent Valentine's Day so free of any expectations because I had freed myself from that.
Oh,
And wouldn't you
wow.
know it, Tonya? I
Oh.
actually then, I woke up this morning to see that that motherfucker had sent me a message yesterday saying, Happy Valentine's. And I was just like, wow. Because I was watching the broadcast you had done where you were trying to find out what men loved about women. And a lot of the guys who called in couldn't mention anything. And then that's what got me to realize that in my situation, I was waiting desperately for love from a guy who clearly didn't even like me. Like he couldn't stand
Mm,
me as a person.
really?
So when I realized that, um, I set myself free because I was like, hey, dude, you're never going to give me what I want. And my setting myself free set up something in this guy. I don't know. He won't even let me go and be free. So now he's gonna send me a happy Valentine's when he would have purposely held that away from me if I hadn't freed myself. So sorry I'm rambling. I'm
Mm.
just a newly liberated person and I have so much joy about that.
No, I don't feel that you're
And I'm glad
rambling.
I got to call in today.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for you that you were able to free yourself. I just had some questions for you that I just wanted to ask so I could get a better understanding. So, you were
Sure.
with this guy for a year and a half,
A year.
a year. When did you first think
Mm-hmm.
about breaking up with him that you realized, oh, I don't want to, be alone or not get a text for Valentine's Day? When did you first have that feeling?
I think I've had that feeling for a long time. I asked this guy early on when I met him. I was like, hey, because we kind of met on Tinder, and I remember asking him, hey, what are you looking for on Tinder? And he said, I'm just looking for someone casual. I'm looking for a relationship. I know that. But
Mm-hmm.
I was willing to just hang out with him on a casual basis because I think I'm willing for my perfect relationship to start there. And I figured, oh, he'll fall in love with me once he gets to know me. But then
Okay.
as time went on, and I would just ask for basic things like, hey, can you not leave me on red for like hours or days? Like if I ask you to hang out, if you can't hang out, like, just say no. Don't like leave me on red and hoping and waiting. And simple things like that from
Mm.
within a month or two into it. Just simple things like that weren't respected. And I was trying to advocate for myself too. So I'm proud of not always taking it, like sticking up and saying what I wanted. But even though I would express what I wanted, I just didn't get it on purpose from him. And I stuck around. So it's been a
Mm.
long time that I've been feeling that this is not what I want. And I just, for a long time, was willing to accept it because sometimes he would message me at 4 a.m. and ask me to come over. So that was something. I get 4 or 5 hours every 2 weeks. And that was
Mm.
enough until I got tired of that.
So you all were intimate.
Yeah. It's been a year
Oh,
of me knowing he doesn't want a relationship and me getting increasingly less and less and less and less and less until I'm embarrassed that I allowed it to go for so long because it just
no, don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. How old are you?
Yeah, I know it. I'm 38.
Okay, so you're 38. When was your last long-term relationship?
I've never really had a long-term relationship, but I would say maybe, or a long-term relationship that I liked. But I'd say maybe that happened 5 years ago, and that relationship lasted maybe 9 months.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. And then, so, question, which one of my videos was the one that you say gave you the courage to just be like, forget this?
Well, it was just with your video. I think the title is something to do with how men don't love us, men don't like us. Because it struck me that this one annoying guy who called. It was such a great live to be a part of for some of the ridiculousness that these guys say. But you were asking him, you were like, oh, what do you love about women? Oh, everything. Okay, but name one thing. He can't name a single thing, but then he was so quick to rattle off what he didn't
Oh,
like
you
about
remember? Oh,
women.
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Right? And then it got me thinking about, well, what about this guy who I've spent the last year with? If I was to ask him one thing he liked about me,
Yeah.
he probably wouldn't come up with anything. And that was just like the slap in the face I needed to. I sent the text right away. I sent the text right then saying, hey, it is what it is. I finally get it. And the only thing I could ever hope from you would be to never hear from you again. Just don't leave me on red. Just let me know you've seen this. And also, I never want to hear from you again. And so he finally did what I asked by not leaving me on red.
Yeah.
But he hasn't let me never hear from him again, because now suddenly he wants to be wishing me a happy Valentine's Day. And that's not about me. I recognize that that's about him and his selfishness, but I don't even want to spend
Yeah.
time on why he sent me that happy Valentine's Day. It doesn't serve me. I've done the hard work of cutting him off, and I just got to do the work now of continuing to be present for what's next for me.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that. Congratulations. So what will you do differently? And you know what? I see a lot of people calling him names and saying a bunch of stuff inside the comments, but you know, listen, we're all on our own journey. This was a
Mm-hmm.
situation that she allowed. You have to remember that. He told her that he was looking for something casual. She consented to that. And he gave her what it is that he said he was going to give. Why are we calling him names because of that? We don't need to call anybody names.
But you know what,
Let's
Tonya?
just give me 1 second. I'm talking to the people. 1 second. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Why let's just have an appreciation for the honesty, for the journey, and use this as an opportunity to self-reflect, not by calling somebody else names because they couldn't be what we wanted them to be, but by just being like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, this was the journey. I accept that. And then, move on from there. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Kimbai, right?
Couldn't die. Yeah. I was
I'm
gonna
sorry. Are
say
you
too
saying D
that
like
like
David or B like Bravo?
it's KUN like November, D like Delta. Kundai.
Oh, Kundai. Okay, okay, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Um, and so another problem too is that I've been in casual relationships before where there was at least respect for an individual. Like he, it's not that he didn't give me the relationship was that what the problem was. It was that he just then refused to even treat me like a human being. It's just like that's
When you say he didn't treat you like a
that's where
human being,
my
what do you
problem was.
mean? What do you mean he didn't treat you like a human being?
Well, I mean, hey, if I say, you know what, it really makes me feel ignored and hurt as a person when I ask you a question via text and I know that you got the text and I know that you have the time to answer and you just can't answer. Like when you purposely ignore me, when I've asked you what behavior makes me feel ignored, when you seek to do that very thing, which I've told you makes me feel hurt and small, like I don't have to be your girlfriend for you to respect that. Like I could walk into a store and if someone was to be like, oh, hey, when you walk into the store with your left foot first, that makes me feel really small and unheard. If I knew that, I would probably make an effort, ridiculous as it may seem, to walk into the store with a different foot just because someone is letting me know how I can treat them more like a human being. And he couldn't
Yeah.
even do that,
Well, you know what?
let
Listen,
alone give me a
let's
relationship.
I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about boundaries and let's talk about self-accountability,
Hmm.
right?
Yep,
So
yep.
we cannot control other people. Who can we control?
Ourselves.
Okay. So if you let somebody know your boundary, right? And they
Hmm.
do not respect your boundary, what is your only option then at that point? Your only recourse, what is it?
To let my absence speak volumes.
Oh, we got a knockout on the line. Somebody who watches the videos. So you know.
Yeah.
So you know. So
Tonya,
you
I
know.
finally learned to love myself. That's why I'm so happy. Everything's
Well, you
coming
know,
full circle
it's
now.
an ongoing journey, but
Yeah.
I want you to change your language, okay?
Okay.
Because it's not about him and whether or not he wouldn't treat you like a human being. You really have to turn the spotlight in on yourself. You got to turn the spotlight in on
Yeah.
yourself because at the end of the day, nobody has to adhere to our boundaries. However, they don't have to
Yeah.
have access to us. You continue to give him
Mhm.
access, and you're now blaming him for a set of behaviors that he participated in that were not, it wasn't the type of relationship you wanted to be in. You didn't want that type of relationship. You wanted something different. You wanted the
No.
type of relationship where you wouldn't be left on red. And once he did that and he knew, it's one thing if you didn't tell him how you felt about it, but he knew how you felt
Yeah.
about it and he still didn't. So he wasn't a good match for you. So the thing about it is, we have to consider, right? If there's a person in a store that says, you know what, when you come inside the store with your left foot first, it makes me feel a certain way, right? Do you have to come
Mhm.
in? Who is this person from the store? You don't know them. What if you are a right foot first kind of person, right? Or whatever foot first, whatever, right? What if that's
Right.
your boundary, right? What if that's your boundary? Do you have the right to step in whatever foot you choose? Yes, you do. You do. You do. You have to consider, who is this person to you? What are you willing to give? And if this store is like, okay, well, I've asked this person to do XYZ, they're not willing to do it, then what is your recourse?
Mhm.
What is their recourse? They can either not let you in the store or whatever. But you know what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Well, if I don't want to step in with the left foot like they asked, then I honestly would just, if I'm not, I would go to a different store. Like, why am I trying to go into the store when I know that I'm not willing to do what they've asked of me to have access to the store?
Maybe you don't care about their feelings. They said that you stepping that way hurt their feelings. Maybe you don't care
And I
about
want
their
to be
feelings.
someone who cares about people's feelings.
Right. However, and you see,
And
this
he
is
clearly
that.
didn't care about
Yeah,
mine, and
but
I
you know
allowed
what?
that.
But this is part of the problem. That's part of the problem that I see personally. Personally,
Mhm. Help
if
me,
it
let's go.
okay, so you yourself can couldn't. Oh my God, why can't I? Couldn't can die.
Couldn't I? Yeah.
Couldn't die. Okay, sorry. You yourself need to weigh what it is that you're willing to do for whom. You got to weigh what you're willing to do for whom, because you cannot bend over backwards to take care of everybody's feelings. You have to think
Mhm.
about yourself first and foremost. What do you want? If I said, you know what, Kundai, it really bothers me when you speak to me in English, right?
Mm.
And I'm like,
Okay.
speak to me in another language, right? You have to think, how do you feel about speaking in that language? How do you feel about the relationship enough to either stay in it, not be in it, or set up your own boundary, because your boundaries matter too, right? And the
Mhm.
thing that we have to come to grips with is while we have boundaries, other people have boundaries as well. So this man that you were dealing with, right? Who knows what his boundary was? Maybe his boundary was in casual relationships, this is how much I am willing to show up. I'm not willing to respond back to a message within hours. You said hours. Maybe he's like, well,
Hours, days.
unless it's a well, but the thing is he's showing you who he is naturally, how he naturally
Mhm.
shows up. And it's up to you to realize that while he's taking care of what's best for him, you got to take care of what's best for you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So I don't want you bending over backwards. I don't want you doing things for other people that you don't feel comfortable doing. I want you to honor
Mhm.
yourself in that you come first. What you want comes first. If you're in a relationship with a person in which you are willing to invest in that way, invest in that way. But if you are not willing to invest in that way, don't invest in that way. I have
Mhm.
people right now who want me to advocate for aborting healthy fetuses, healthy male fetuses. They want me to advocate for that. And I cannot. At this point in my life, from what it is that I know and feel and et cetera, I cannot. So what do? Do I make them feel comfortable and be like, yeah, and start doing some things that I don't feel comfortable with just because they said that that'll
No.
make them feel better? I got people calling me all types of
Right.
mammies all over the internet because I will not agree to that. And it makes them feel uncomfortable. And so when we talk about let's stay together, right? The women staying in relationships for whatever reason, right? You also
Mhm.
have to think about yourself and what is it that you're willing to do in these different relationships with people. You have to think, what do you want? And if you're not getting what you want, you have to make up your mind and make a decision about where and what you're willing to do if you're not getting what you want.
Mhm.
Okay?
Food for thought, for sure. And that's the
Yeah.
problem I think a lot of us face is that like I literally have to dedicate time to sit down and think, what do I want in a partner? What do I want out of life? Because I realize, like, yeah, I don't even know what I want. So how am I going to know when it shows up? I need to sit and think and focus on it, and then I will recognize it when it's there or when I can get it. So yeah, I need to know what I want, and then I can, from there, at least have an idea of what I'm willing to do to get it and keep it.
Yeah, absolutely. And last thing I want you to think about is people pleasing. And stop thinking about people pleasing and really think about self pleasing. Think about pleasing
Mhm.
yourself because at the end of the day, what happens when you're a people pleaser is you get upset when other people don't try to please you in the ways that you would please other people. But when you become a self
Mhm.
pleaser, you understand that this person is doing what's right for them and that you need to do what's right for you. There's so many people who are attempting to convince women, to go along with any number of things. But you have to stop and think, what do you want? Please yourself
Right.
first and understand that other people have a right to please themselves. Let them please themselves. And the other line is ringing, so I'm going to let you jump off. Thank you so much. We love you.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
All right. You're in the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Oh, hi, Tonya. This is B. I'm calling from Tampa, Florida.
Hey, you said V is in victorious?
B as in boy.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome in B. Welcome, welcome. All right. So what's your comment today?
Um, well, I'm currently coming out of a 10-year relationship. We were
Mm-hmm.
together 10 years, married for 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be filing for divorce very soon. And my stance on that is I remember like a few years ago, I wasn't happy, and I would talk to my, current soon to be ex-husband about why I wasn't happy, why I wasn't feeling fulfilled in the relationship or anything like that, and nothing was changing. And I remember talking to a few friends, and those friends were kind of like, basically telling me to stay and try my best to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But they were never really questioning what he was doing, what he wasn't doing. It was more
Mm-hmm.
so I needed to make this work no
Mm-hmm.
matter what, because there is nothing out here in these streets. The dating scene has piss everywhere in it, and you have to make it work. This
Mm-hmm.
is your marriage, you're married. And I'm Haitian,
Okay.
and it's looked down upon to divorce.
Okay.
And, I've, of course, tried my best to make things work, but, the disconnect just continued to happen. And I recently found out that he was having an affair since 2021.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all this time with the disconnect and me talking to him and us trying to make it work, and it wasn't happening. It had nothing to do with me, but it was because he was with somebody else the whole time.
Mm. Mm. And so how does that make you feel? How does that what went through your mind? How did you deal with it? Talk to us.
Well, before I found out about the affair, I literally found out about it like maybe a week ago. But before
Okay.
I found that out, I would ask him, like, because we've been separated since 2022, beginning of 2022,
Mm-hmm.
and I was making myself go crazy because I'm like, what was it that I wasn't doing that would make him, you know, want to leave? And he would always tell me it's I wasn't bringing him peace. He would say
Mm.
that, or he would say, "Oh, I'm just not happy," and then he would say stuff like, "Oh, he's depressed,"
Mm-hmm.
and he would basically just say, basically, what from my perspective, it felt like he was blaming me for everything.
Mm.
Just
Okay.
blaming me, and it's my fault, and uh, whatever. So the whole time, I lost sleep because I'm like, okay, here I am. I'm always trying to keep up with you and doing what it is that I have to do as a wife, as a mother, to try to sustain and make this relationship work.
Mm-hmm.
So, I started feeling like I was less than. And then, of course, when was it? Was it November? I I went to Miami just to kind of, get a, break. And
Mm-hmm.
he didn't know I was in Miami. And I went to this brunch. And guess who shows up with another woman?
Oh, wow. Him?
Yeah,
Oh,
he showed up
wow.
with another woman. And it's that same woman that she's been having an affair with since 2021.
Wait, when did you go to the brunch?
November 2022.
Okay. So you said you just found out a week ago that he was having an affair.
Uh, an affair since 2021.
When did you find out that he was having the affair?
A week ago. Like how long he was dealing with that woman, I found out about it a week ago.
Oh, oh,
Like literally a week ago
okay.
through digging, and
When did you
I'm
find out that he was having an affair, period?
I found out November.
Okay, so
That
November
November,
you
I saw the other woman.
okay, November you found out he was having an affair. November 2022 you found out he was having an affair. And
Yes.
you all had been separated since November 2022 when you found out.
Um, no, we've been separated actually since I want to say April 2022. And he was basically telling me how I'm the one who needed to work on myself and everything in order to make the relationship work. And I did bring up divorce to him, like, is divorce an option? And he would say no, that's not what he wants. It's just that he needs time apart, and he feels like I need to work on myself.
Okay, so I feel like I'm not understanding. When you found out
Okay.
about the affair, you all were still together until April.
No.
Okay, so I feel like I'm not
Um.
okay. So help me, because I feel like I'm missing something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It is kind of confusing. Okay. So we were separated April 2022, right? So in the midst of us separating, we were still talking about possibly getting back together
Okay.
without it ever happening. November 2022, I had decided I needed a break, so I went to Miami just to kind of take a break and release and go clubbing and stuff. And then I was at a brunch
Hold on.
there
See,
with
this
some
is
of
where
my
I'm sorry.
friends.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Girl, B, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to okay. April 2022,
Yes.
you found out about the affair.
No, Tonya.
What am I
April
missing?
2022, we were separated.
Okay, April
He decided he wanted
2022,
to
you were
move out.
separated.
Yes.
November 2022, you went to the brunch.
Yes.
But you all had been talking from April to November about getting back together.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I sorry I had to stop doing my makeup for a second just so I could understand because I was distracted.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm not distracted anymore. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Okay. So you
Yes.
all separated April 2022. You went to a brunch in
Mhm.
November, and then that's when you found out
Mhm.
that he was at this brunch with another woman, that he wasn't really in earnest trying to get back together. He was just talking junk. And
Yes.
then from
And then,
November until 2 weeks ago, you two, what was the
yeah.
communication and stuff like that?
I was pretty upset about it. And of course, I confronted him about it, and he basically said, "Oh, I'm sorry. You have to find out about it this way."
Mm-hmm.
And I never meant for you to find out about it, and all of that. So
Mm.
that's when I started doing some digging. I started looking through some emails and stuff like that, and there was one particular email I never checked, and I
Mm-hmm.
decided to check that email, and
Yeah.
that's when I found receipts from all the way back of January 2021 that he was messing with this girl.
Oh, so long before you all separated, he had already was stepping out in the
Yeah.
relationship. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Meanwhile,
Yes.
he was gaslighting you about how you needed to change and all of this other stuff.
Yes. And I actually started um individual therapy for myself because I'm like, okay, he's obviously I have a blind spot, and maybe in ways I may have communicated and stuff. So I went for myself just to kind of see where my blind spots are, just to kind of work on myself and everything. Meanwhile, he's not doing any of that. He's not going to
Mm.
any therapy or nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so he's
Yeah.
not going to therapy. How far was he living
Mm-mm.
from you? Do you two have kids or no?
Yeah, we have one daughter.
How old is she? Is she old enough to understand all of
She's
this that's going
she's
on?
5. Oh, she's
Okay.
5.
So
She
she's
she
little.
knows that mommy and daddy are living apart, but she still doesn't quite understand. 5-year-old. Yeah, she doesn't quite understand.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were calling in to basically um discuss the pressure to stay together. Who was pressuring
Yes.
you two to stay together? Was it yourself? Was it
It was
family?
mostly it was mostly other friends who are also married and other friends who are single. So from both sides, like basically saying how there's nothing out there, and the dating scene is trash, this, that, and third.
Hmm.
And it's just like I feel like I don't think it's right. You know, everyone have different experiences when it comes to dating, and
Yeah.
I think it all depends on your perception of life and your mindset.
Yeah.
And based on your mindset, you attract certain people.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, so here I am, and it has to do with me. I take accountability because I clearly was codependent.
Hmm.
And I let other people's perception and other people's, I guess, insecurity get the best of me, where I was like, okay, then I should probably stay and try to make it work. And
Hmm.
meanwhile, he wasn't on that same page.
Yeah, no, he was doing his own thing for a
Yeah,
while.
yes.
Unbelievable.
So it's just, I don't know.
And
It's
did
just
this woman know
crazy.
about you, or was he lying to her?
I believe, um,
Did you confront him
what
at the
I believe
brunch?
is, no, I didn't get to confront because as soon as he saw me, he kind of got out of there real quick.
Oh, so
So, yeah.
wow.
But I called the other woman,
Oh, you have her number?
yes, because I went through our phone bill
Mm-hmm.
where they have the call log history, and I said the first number that I see where the minutes next to it is more than 60 minutes, I was like, it has to be her.
Okay.
So the first number I called, lo and behold, it was her.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so what was it like with all of your conditioning getting ready to file for divorce?
Um, at first, like, because of my conditioning, I felt like, damn, I'm such a failure. Like, as a woman, you can't even keep your marriage together,
Mm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I did start back therapy again, and
Mm-hmm.
I plan on buying your books of affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, when was it? The other day, I just had an epiphany, and I was like, it's not worth fighting for. There's nothing there to fight for.
Mm.
There's
Yeah.
nothing there. So why am I fighting? Why am I like doing all of that for? There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 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 No, I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you. Wow, you know what? Congratulations on your bravery. Was he a big Valentine's Day person? Did he go all out for Valentine's Day, or was he also lacking?
He was also lacking for Valentine's Day. He would say that, oh, he don't see the point in celebrating it. But when it came to like birthdays and like Christmas and stuff, that's where
Mm-hmm.
he kind of went all out on.
Mm.
But when it came to like Valentine's Day or even something simple as getting me flowers and stuff, he didn't really like believe in that too much,
Really? He didn't believe in
according to
flowers
him.
and What'd you say?
Yeah, because I said, sometimes from time to time, like give me some flowers or something. And he's like, his excuse was he didn't like flowers. And I said, but I like flowers. Like,
So he wouldn't
you're
get it
not getting the
because he
flowers for
said he
you.
didn't like them,
Yes.
regardless of whether or not you said you liked them.
Yes.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. And you know what? That's the crazy
Yeah.
thing. Like these men online pretend like, oh, the moment you get married, everything is going to be all right. You're going to get everything that you want. All of these issues that you have when you're single are going to be done and over. But you getting married doesn't mean that the person that you even get married to is really going to be catering to you and taking care of you in any way.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? It really depends on the person. And most marriages are not happy marriages. And now they are trying to shame women for leaving, talking about women don't know what they want, they fickle and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, women were
Yeah.
sold a dream. They were sold a lie.
Yeah. And it's just been crazy, Tonya, because, finding out all that I found out,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if he can go as far as this to lie to me,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I do not trust him at all with nothing. Nothing he says, I don't trust
Yeah.
anything that he says. Because I'm
Yeah.
like,
How old was he?
all you had to, he's 33, I'm 31.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We've
Okay.
been together
And
10 years, so yeah.
wow, what are his finances like? People wanted to know. Is he doing well financially? Is he not doing well?
Not so well.
He's not doing well
Not doing so well.
financially? Oh.
No.
When you
Mm-mm.
say not doing well financially, what do you mean? He's what is he struggling?
Um, from what I can see, like he is struggling right now. He works as an independent contractor,
Mm-hmm.
but right now I guess they're not busy. It's not busy season,
Mm.
so he's not really working.
Mm. What was his
Yeah.
finances like when
And
you all
then
were together? Was he doing well then?
when we first got together, I just turned 20, and he was what, I think 21 or 22, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was, typical like after post grad student type of finances where we're now making it out, and I had just graduated and was just starting
Mm-hmm.
in my career. So, we're the young struggling couple together,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Got you. Well, you know what? Happy belated Valentine's Day to you. What did you do to celebrate the day?
I took myself out.
Okay.
I went on a
Okay.
date with myself. I dressed up,
Nice.
took myself to a nice restaurant. It was nice, honestly. It felt really nice.
I'm
That
glad
was
to
the
hear
first
that.
Valentine's Day for a long time where I was like, wow, this is nice. This is nice.
Okay.
I like
Okay.
this.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good. That's good. What is your family saying now about the divorce?
I mean, they are quite surprised because they didn't think that he would have an affair or anything like that. So they're quite surprised, but a lot of them are for the divorce.
Oh, really? Why are they
They're
for
like,
it?
it needed, yeah, because they didn't like how, he was like gaslighting me and manipulating me. And,
Mm.
I'm also very private, so they weren't happy. They weren't too happy with me for keeping all that to myself. They said,
Mm.
you needed help and you have a daughter. You have to, like, you have family for a reason. So, yeah, they're
Mm.
for the divorce and stuff.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm happy that you're on the path that you need to go on.
Yeah. I
All
know.
right.
It's just crazy because I never would have thought that this was this would happen, but at the same time, I'm like, I think the universe wanted me to open my eyes, and that's why I saw him with that woman.
Got you. Got you. I feel you.
Mhm.
Well, I'm happy that your
Yeah.
eyes are open. I'm happy that
Yeah.
you're on the path to healing. And
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing. Was there anything else you wanted to say before you jumped off?
No, just thank you. And this is my first time calling in the show, so that's exciting. And I've been watching you
Yay.
for a long time, long time. I was
Well,
young.
well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, you have a good rest of your evening.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow. This is so deep. I appreciate you all calling in. I'm trying something new with my lips tonight. I don't know if it's going to turn out all right or not, but I'm going to try something new. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Yeah, so we're talking about staying together. I'm almost finished in terms of my makeup. So if you're going to call in, you better call in now. Hmm. All right, 323-488-3149. The telephone number is right here. Oh, let me check for the apples. My bad. Okay, there's a few that have come in. So let me grab these apples real quick.